Yolanda's impact of death and destruction is the biggest yet in the history of our country. The cost of relief, recovery, rehabilitation, and eventual reconstruction will be very expensive. But with the President's leadership, there is great promise. Resources are being mobilized to ensure the needs of the victims are addressed. The President has shown great concern for their welfare as they recover from the loss of their loved ones, their homes, and their livelihood. And joining us tonight here on NewsLife is Budget Secretary Florencio Abad via phone patch. Good evening, sir, and welcome to NewsLife.
Hi, Kathy. Good evening.
Sir, initially, are the resources of the government sufficient to cover the cost of relief efforts?
Oh, yeah, very much so. We have enough space in our budget to cover the initial requirements of the relief effort. In fact, really the challenge is more production and distribution. But that also is easing up a bit because our initial problems, especially the first 3 days, was the inaccessibility of many areas, the lack of communication, and the difficulty of transport. But now, practically the national roads have been cleared, and information about what happened in many municipalities and barangays are already coming in. So, and the production is also improving. So, I think things will ease up a bit.
Sir, for the upcoming days, where are you planning to get the funding for the everyday needs of our people?
Well, as I said earlier in an earlier interview, the money is just standing by there. We have enough savings. In fact, if by next week the Supreme Court decides to lift the TRO on the PDAF that has already been given up by the legislators, which amounts to 14.6 billion, then that will bring up the available funds for the relief operations and the starting the rehab to about 40 billion pesos. So we should have enough funds to take care of the immediate relief requirements. Of course, it's another matter to talk about the medium and long-term rehabilitation requirements because that will be entail a lot more funds. But then by next year, the new budget would have been in effect. So the calamity fund, the fund would have been replenished, and we have infrastructure funds that can be realigned to focus on, for example, the construction of houses, of school buildings, and other damaged infrastructure.
Sir, has anybody drawn initial figures on how much these provinces will need in the next few months?
Well, as I said, and as Secretary Rojas said, the priority now is, to make sure that we are able to provide the food requirements. We are able to clear the passageways and account for and bury the dead. So our requirements are really more basic now, and there is really not much time yet to assess the damage overall and quantify the requirements, because I think rightfully so. The attention has really to be paid on providing food, water, blankets, tents, and accounting for people and making sure that are buried properly, and the basic utilities like water and electricity and communications are restored. I think that those should be the priorities right now, because those are what people need at this stage. And once those things ease up and we are able to deal with them substantially, then we can start looking at the medium and long term.
Sir, how will this incident affect the 2014 national budget?
Well, certainly it will affect it. For example, we have to review the requirements for calamity fund, because originally it was just pegged at 7.5 billion, and definitely we will need so much more. And infrastructure I think the DPWH is reconsidering, for example, the design of our school buildings, hospitals, and infrastructure. We may have to redesign them to withstand not 250, but maybe 300 kilometers per hour winds in certain places. So that will mean, with the same budget, less projects to be built. So we will have to look at the housing requirements because thousands of people lost their houses. So we will have to make sure that the NHA and the other agencies that can assist in providing not only temporary but eventually more permanent housing for many of the poor people who were washed away are provided for. So you're really talking about huge additional requirements in the 2014 budget.
Mm-hmm. Sir, in addition to that, will you consider requesting the Congress for a reconstruction fund which will cover a period of 3 to 5 years, not just for Tacloban but other areas as well in Eastern Visayas?
Well, yeah, in principle, we will have to look at that. This is so extraordinary, this is so unprecedented, that we should open our minds to all the possibilities of, innovations and adjustments that's necessary. Because at the end of the day, we want to save more lives, we want to restore livelihoods, we want to put things back to normal in many of these barangays and municipalities. So I think those huge changes are in order.
Mm-hmm. So recently the country has been receiving positive economic ratings. Do you think that this Yolanda will impact our economy?
Well, to some extent, but I don't think to a very significant extent. I mean, 65% of GDP is produced in 3 regions in Luzon, Region 3, Region 4A, and NCR. And the other contributing regions, for example, are Cebu, Region 7, and Davao. So what were hit were the poorer regions, but still there will be impact, especially like Leyte is a rice-producing region, and therefore there will be. The good thing is we're not yet sure, but I think this typhoon hit us. I think after many of the rice crops have been harvested, but I don't know to what extent rice crops were even the ones that have been stored have been damaged or washed away by the typhoon. So that's part of the assessment that has to be done.
Sir, do you think the government should consider an international effort similar to the Philippine aid plan during the term of the President's mother for the construction efforts?
Well, I think judging from the reaction of the international community, they may be open to that idea. As you know, we're done with the relief and rescue operation. I think the NEDA, Secretary of Finance, and ourselves will have to sit down and look at the long-term damage and how we can approach this. And of course, one option is really to invite international support, and if it's necessary to put together a package that will be sent out for support, and I think that will be done.
Mm-hmm. Sir, is the President confident that we as a people can overcome these trials for our people in the country?
Oh yes, the President has such trust, in the spirit of bayanihan that has time and again been proven in this country. This was something that has never happened to us, and therefore the scale of the damage has been unprecedented. But I think the President believes that the Filipino spirit will overcome this. Just give it a little time for people to settle down, and I'm sure, and you can already see it. The one province out there, Leyte, coming out to help Leyte. Other cities, other provinces that have been hit are coming forward to help out. So I think that spirit in the end will prevail, and we will recover from this faster than people think.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much, sir, for your time and for reassuring our people that there is enough budget for the relief and recovery of our provinces. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity.